I'm going to call the meeting to order at 6:34, and I am going to entertain a motion to appoint a temporary president pro tem for this meeting only, Diane Slavens, as that individual. Is there a motion?
I move to make Diane Slavens President Pro Tem.
Right. It has been moved and by and supported by Trustee Foster to appoint Treasurer Slavens as temporary president for the meeting only. Any further discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. The ayes have it. Pro Tem, it's your meeting.
Well, good evening, and let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, justice for all. Thank you, and we please have roll call?
All right. It looks as though Supervisor Graham Hudek is absent. Let the record reflect that Clerk Segrist is present and speaking. President Pro Tem Slavens.
Good evening.
All right. Trustee Borninski.
Good evening.
All right. Trustee Foster.
Good evening.
And it looks as though Trustee Ganguly and Ansari are both absent.
Okay, and may I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Support.
By Clerk Segrist. Foster, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now we have a presentation of the 5-year roads plan.
Thank you, Treasurer Slavens. For those of you that don't know, my name is Charles LaRock. I am the Township Engineer and Engineering Manager. Again, for those of you that don't know, we have a road millage in Canton that generates revenue every year for road construction projects, both on Wayne County primary roads as well as county platted subdivisions. I was asked today to present our 5-year road plan for the major road improvements we have scheduled over the next 5 years. So I will kind of quickly walk us through that, and then if anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. I'm also available, obviously, in the office if anyone has any questions after tonight. So I'll go ahead and get started. So as I said, Canton Township Road millage was passed and approved by voters in 2018. We started work shortly after that using road millage dollars. Creates a fund of about $7 million a year. Those are distributed to, as I said, local roads, which are subdivisions. Major roads are, Canton Center, Sheldon, Morton Taylor, Joy, Lilly, everything kind of except Michigan Ave and Ford Road. And then 15% goes to the Ford Road Boulevard project that MDOT has created, is working on. Tonight, we're going to focus mainly on major road, and there's a little bit about local road in here too. Briefly, Ford Road Boulevard is being designed by MDOT. They have gone through a few iterations. They've been very courteous in getting our input on that work. They're working on a property right-of-way acquisition in order to widen the right-of-way in some areas. As you can see, the plan is to make a boulevard, so there's some right-of-way needs for what we call loons to accommodate Michigan lefts, as we like to call them, Michigan turnarounds. Construction right now is still anticipated to begin in 2027, 2028. They are targeting December 27 for a construction bid date. So that would then lead to construction in '28, beginning in '28. So going through kind of what we've been working on this year, the 2025 major road work included Getty's Road and Beck Road. You can see the limits there. Essentially, we milled and resurfaced both roads with asphalt. Cherry Hill to Michigan Ave, and then Canton Center to Beck. We are also planning next year to improve the intersection of those two roads, Getty's Road, Beck Road. It turns out the intersection has one leg that has a right turn lane, so we're adding a right turn lane to the other three legs. So that work will happen as soon as weather permits in the spring. As far as the local subdivision work, this year we had 18 subdivisions, almost $2 million in repair. There was also sort of a secondary project that we called the ASR project, which essentially, as it sounds, was to address a concrete issue on local subdivision roads. We got the state to participate in that, as well as Wayne County to help with the funding. I think it was 6 subdivisions that we found had significant damage, or not damage, deterioration to their roads from this alkali silica reaction. So we were able to repave those subdivisions and improve the quality of the roadway in those subdivisions tremendously, in fact. Another note about Ford Road, again, construction letting in December of '27. So again, this is kind of where I have a table for each year. So '25, again, Beck and Getty's was what the work that was done this year. We spent about $4 million bucks. 300,000 of that, however, was kind of some of the design for '26. So upcoming in '26, like I said, at the bottom there, you see the Getty's and Beck intersection. So we'll kind of complete that project. And then at the top, it's an intersection we've been targeting for some years now. Our plan is to work on the south side of Ford Road and install a dedicated right turn lane for Beck Road. The southbound right turn lane of Beck Road onto Ford is in a future year. Next year, we will also work on some smaller, relatively smaller, but still major projects, Lilly Road and Morton Taylor Road, both targeted for resurfacing in '26. '27, right now, Haggerty, Warren to Joy, base repair, resurface, rebuild. It's a concrete road. That one may be moving. Just found out today. The county might be doing that. So if that happens, we won't have to. So that's excellent. We can throw in another project there. Probably the most well-known project for '27 will be our roundabout at Sheldon and Palmer. That was one of the intersections we studied along with Beck and Ford that I mentioned for '26. So Sheldon and Palmer, my plan is to have construction underway right before or as soon as school ends in '27 and have it completed before school starts again. Obviously, a complete reconstruction of the intersection. Best part about this one is the grant we got from SEMCOG of about $2.6 million that will cover pretty much all the construction costs. So that's an excellent way for us to fund these projects without using tax dollars from Canton. And in '27, we also wanted to use about $2 million just for preventative maintenance. This can include any kind of crack sealing, joint sealing, seal coating, some light resurfacing, maybe just some localized patching or repairs in roads. But just something we kind of do that's not a main project, but also, necessary work to improve the road network. 2028, I'll touch real quick again. We'd like to do some preventative maintenance, but the big project will be, as I mentioned prior, Beck Road on the north side of Ford to install a right turn lane. Pretty significant project. It will likely require us to widen the bridge that get you over the drain just north of Ford. So that's where a lot of that cost will probably come from. But project that's very feasible, very much needed. As I know some of you know because you live there, it's tough during rush hour to get around Beck and Ford intersection. So hopefully by the end of '28, we will have some significant improvements done, and we can start to evaluate the traffic in a real world sense and look at some of the signal timing and any improvements we might be able to make there as well. And then I do have 29 on here for now. We were looking at Cherry Hill Road from Ridge to Beck. And we also have another intersection targeted for a roundabout. We haven't done a lot of work on that yet. We did, however, get another grant to fund some of it. As you see there, it was a CRP grant through SEMCOG that funds roundabouts. They seem to like roundabouts a lot. So at SEMCOG for grant funding, those are some of the only ones that they fund 100%. So there's no match even. So it's kind of nice. So that's what we'll start to work on for 29. I don't think this goes any further. Yeah. So then there's a couple other notes that I have for other efforts through the millage. There was a Township County Road Initiative program that the county rolled out early in the spring this year that we applied for and were awarded. I think it was a 50-50 match. We were awarded $750,000 to do local road improvements. So we're going to roll that into our already existing program. As I mentioned earlier, we had the subdivisions that we targeted for repair from ASR concrete issues. Those are substantially complete. We're working on some punch list items right now, but we were able to get all of those subdivisions through the process starting last year and finished it up this year. We also received an earmark for a pedestrian bridge over Palmer Road, or on Palmer Road over 275. So we are waiting on MDOT to get that process started. They will likely take the lead on that and do all the design effort with their consultants and then handle the construction as well. And again, just mentioning the grants for the two roundabouts, total about $4.4 million that we're getting from SEMCOG to help in the construction of those two roundabouts as well. So just a couple of changes in 26. Added Lily Road and Morton Taylor, the northbound Beck Road at Ford. In 27, as I said, Haggerty, Warren to Joy, and the Sheldon Palmer roundabout. And just a note that part of the Ford Road Boulevard project was also going to create a boulevard quarter-mile north and south of quarter-mile north and south of Ford on Haggerty. That part has been eliminated, so that actually frees up a lot of funding for us so we can do some other road projects. Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting, but so what's the design of that intersection? Are there going to be left-hand turn lanes from Haggerty onto Ford Road at that intersection, or no?
Well, I will admit I don't have that memorized, but I am working on another presentation so that we can come and talk to you folks about Ford Road. Okay. So we can certainly answer those questions there. I can find out. I can look at it tomorrow, Michael, but you said off of Haggerty onto Ford, you're asking?
Yeah, if there's no boulevard there, will there be left-hand turns?
My memory serves, I recall the last set of plans I saw showed like a 4-lane each direction, and there was a left turn, a through, and a right. So yeah, I think it was set up that way.
Okay.
Kate, did you have a question?
Yeah, I do. Since I think it was the right turn lane on southbound back onto Ford Road, that is happening a little later. Wondering if the, brush that is in the creek there can be addressed, because when you're going eastbound on Ford and you want to make a right onto Beck, you cannot see the people that are coming south on Beck.
Say it again, which,
So if, you know, the Ford and Beck
Yeah, yep.
intersection, the creek is like right
north side of Ford.
north
Yep.
side of Ford. But there's a lot of brush
Yeah, that grows in
and
it.
trees and bushes that block the view, especially if you're short like I am, or you don't have a tall vehicle. If you're trying to, if you're on Ford going east into Canton, and you are trying to make a right turn there, you cannot see the oncoming traffic from the north that are going southbound.
Okay, yeah. So I'll bring up also, we just sort of completed a road safety audit of this intersection and Ford and Ridge that was sponsored by SEMCOG as well. So the consultant, I think Fishbeck, provided several recommendations to improve the intersections. And one of those was clearing the brush from the train.
Okay.
Which we had to respond to, so I obviously, and I spoke with the county and MDOT, so ultimately the county will be out there to clear that out. That's kind of their thing, but I will,
Right.
we'll make sure that
But
they
it
recall.
is a safety issue because you cannot see who's coming.
Yeah,
in.
absolutely. And I think that's probably why it came up in that audit, because it's significant. I'm sure in the
Okay,
summer
well-
it just goes crazy and,
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Hear that. Yeah, because every time I go there, I'm like, can I turn? I don't know.
right,
So it's a little worrisome.
right, no, I understand, of
And I
course.
assume when we, expand the bridge, then that will be taken care of. But right now, we need a solution.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So kind of just to wrap up, I mean, having seen the millage program from its inception to now, I couldn't be more pleased and frankly surprised by how successful it's been. Especially the local road program. So without getting into the weeds on it, it's funded through the millage, but we do require that the homeowner groups participate with a match. And the interest has been just beyond what we could have comprehended. Technically, right now, our wait list is out to almost 2030. Because of a couple of the grants that we are getting, we're actually planning to pull quite a few jobs forward next year. I was just looking with one of my other engineers at a township map, highlighting all the subs that we're looking at, and it's like the whole township. I mean, so we're hopefully going to shorten that wait list and get because we're going to get some of the work done soon. But it's just been, it's been very successful. You guys, should be proud of the concept you came up with, and it's gone really well. The major road program has also, I think gone really well. We've done, obviously we got to do Canton Center full build, to replace that, and then like 7 years of major projects. I probably couldn't name them all standing here myself, but it's just great to see how well that has worked. It's the effect it's had. It's approximately $6 million each year that engineering services handles in projects, without increasing our head count, at times decreasing our head count. In fact, using construction services and consultants to help us, obviously where we need. But it's been a great to see that work. It's been great to do that work, and yeah, I mean none of this was going to get done otherwise without this millage. So I think if you go back to 18 and you have no millage and you come to today, I think you're just hearing every year in the news and the newspaper about how terrible the roads in Canton are, and I think we've turned that around pretty quickly actually. So I'm proud of it. I think everyone else should be too. So that was pretty much all I had today. If you have any more questions, I'm happy to answer them. Go ahead. Summer.
Quick question, actually two. I missed what you said in 2026 about Beck and Getty's, that intersection. What are we doing there?
So we did Beck and Getty's like straight line road this year. So at the intersection next year, we are essentially adding the right turn lane to 3 of the legs. One of them happens to have it when we looked at it, and we said, well, we might as well put it on the other 3. Like, it makes sense. And it actually works out well. None of the mast arms are in the way. So it worked out pretty well as far as there was a lot of complications. There's a gas main that we're waiting to get moved, but that's it.
And the other question, and I know we've had some conversation about this, and it's kind of like looking for the best solution, but at Sheldon and Getty's and Michigan Avenue, that really weird.
Yeah, so that was also one of the intersections we had targeted to study, and, I mean, it's kind of third on the list, so Sheldon and Palmer, maybe even fourth on the list, Beck and Getty, or excuse me, Beck and Ford, Ridge Salts Denton, and we haven't forgotten about it, you know, I could probably, I'll get in the office tomorrow, and we might actually put it on I might actually put it on this now, if we're gonna eliminate Haggerty Road, we can start looking at it again, but that's, I mean, we all know how tricky that one is.
Yeah.
You know, it's, not that we can't do anything, but it's tough. So we definitely want to come up with some ideas, bring it to you guys, you know, get your input, make sure it makes sense to everybody, and, yeah, see what we can do.
All right, thank you.
On that note, is there any discussion that maybe the county would be willing to vacate that right-of-way of Getty's Road that creates that kind of triangle?
I haven't asked, you mean in order to do what? To dead end, not the dead end Gettys? Is that, vacate the right of way and get rid of Gettys?
Well, never mind, I'll talk about, part of the issue with that intersection, right, is the fact that you've got folks getting off of Michigan Avenue directly onto Getty's, and within a couple hundred yards, they're right at the intersection of Sheldon Road. And then a couple hundred yards to the south, there's the intersection of Sheldon and Michigan Avenue. So
Right.
essentially, I was wondering would there be interest in vacating that 100 yards of Getty's so that you get, you
mean the
you don't
piece-
have you don't have the collisions that we're currently having.
You mean the
right?
piece coming off of Michigan?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that was probably one of the options that we originally had out there.
Yeah.
So it's, at this point, I would say anything is possible out there.
I like it because it's like a free way to, it's like free to fix it that way, you know? Like it's
True.
not a,
Just
it's
close
not a
it.
brand new intersection. It's just
Yeah.
like, okay, we're going to shut down this road. Anyway, that was my one. My other question would be with regards to the county township program. And we had discussions about how we would fold that into our local roads initiative. Would that just be money that buttresses our match program, or what's the thought?
So, yeah, well, our intention, our plan was to fold it into the local road program, and that's kind of what's allowing us to do some of those further out folks on the wait list sooner.
Okay,
Yeah, so, yeah, we're using it essentially as the same way we're using the millage revenue.
okay.
Put it that way, yeah. They still have to match, and it's not really changing the program. It's just giving us the ability to do more sooner.
Thank you.
Yeah. I was going to mention, one of the things I do recall about the Sheldon, Getty's, Michigan Ave, there was a pretty simple solution. I think there's right away you could add a right turn lane onto the piece of Getty's you're talking about. It looked like that could alleviate a little bit of traffic or congestion and backing up, but if we eliminated that road, we couldn't do that. But I know that was one of the options. So
Trust the traffic engineers more than the guy who thought about it for 30 seconds.
you're right. Are there any other questions from the board?
Well,
Anybody
thank
out
you
here?
very much. Great presentation.
Nothing. Okay. Well, thank you.
Forward to- And now we have Canton Cares presentation, and Laura's going to.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Laura Mortier, and I am the Recreation and Performing Arts Manager for Canton Township, and I am also the Chair of the Canton Cares Fund and Board. As a reminder, for those that you don't know, the fund was established through the Canton Community Foundation in 2018 as a way for businesses, companies, individuals to donate to their neighbors and residents in Canton in need, whether that's through disaster relief, significant personal loss, supporting township programs that benefit those that need extra services, such as our underserved youth, our seniors, our therapeutic rec programs. Also a way for us to give out scholarships, and then a way to do employee recognition with obviously not using taxpayer dollars, but using donations from businesses and companies. So I'm here tonight just to give a really quick recap of the 2025 year and the funds that we are working with. Currently, our board is full, per the bylaws, with 7 members. We have myself as chair, Tammy Haggerty as vice chair, Joyce Jones, Christina Wilson, Stephen Yaros, Quindell Simmons, and Andrew Graves. Those are all community members that have applied, been interviewed to sit on this board. It's a great one right now. They're very, very involved and willing to try new things, and yeah, it's just a really, really involved and engaged group. And then we have Jesse Bunchick, who is our administrative assistant for Canton Leisure Services, that serves as that role as secretary and record keeper for us. And then Beth Mead is with the Canton Community Foundation and Local Impact Alliance, and she serves on that committee as well, but does not have a voice or vote. This is just a little recap of 2025. So far this year, we've received $19,000 in donations. And again, like I mentioned earlier, that's through individual donations that can be from grants or scholarships. I've mentioned this before. It's really nice because they are a 501c3, so they serve as that for us when we're applying for different scholarships and grants. Or businesses, which you'll see some of our key ones that are listed on the right there. Sometimes people just really honestly stumble upon us. True Storage Canton, they're a new business in Canton. They look to donate to an organization when they join a community, found the Canton Cares Fund and donated $1,000 this year. So it's really nice that we have businesses in the community that are supporting this. Since its inception in 2018, $142,000 has been donated to the fund. And then currently we have a balance of $53,000. And then you'll see here in the fund balance the different accounts or line items that people can earmark their money in. So when you donate, you're able to give that to police or fire, the youth and teen center, disaster relief, or you'll see most people donate to unrestricted and allow us to spend that money where there's the greatest need. The committee itself does want to just make sure that some money is coming in. So we do host 2 small fundraisers every year, and that's honestly put on just by the 7 people on the committee. And every year we do our annual road rally fundraiser. This was our 4th one that we had this year. $2,200 was put into the account from that. And if anyone's interested, our 2026 date is April 25th. And then the Canton Cares Fund partners with the Township as well as the Partnership for the Arts to host a chili cook-off in conjunction with Brews, Brats, and Bands that was held on September 13th. The participating businesses are there, and for like the 3rd year in a row, La Taco Reina is a food truck, and they have won the chili tasting. $1,400 from registration fees, $5 of the ticket to Brews, Brats, and Bands automatically goes right to the Canton Cares Fund. Next year's date is September 12th. And this is just a small little highlight of some of the things that we were able to fund this year. I had mentioned employee tailgate. We have our Canton, I'm totally drawing a blank on the name of the committee that plans the employee fun things for us. They were able to solicit different sponsorships and donations from businesses to be able to earmark that to do employee tailgate and camaraderie amongst employees. We also, several times throughout the year, will support public safety in their grief support when they're experiencing or have dealt with a traumatic event. Grief support is brought in, and we are able to fund like food and drinks for those. The Black Youth and Teen Center was in need of an emergency evacuation chair, They're on the third floor of this building, and there are several participants at the block or through our therapeutic rec programs that have mobility issues. So in an emergency situation, we were able to evacuate them quickly and efficiently, and this fund helped fund an extra chair for upstairs. Couple emergency assistant utility bills. There's some residents that were in need of some utility assistance to avoid their power being turned off, so we were able to cover those costs. And then our biggest one this year that probably felt the best to be able to give to and was one of our larger expenses is unfortunately we had a youth pass away this year in Canton from some gun violence, and we were able to pay for 100% of her funeral costs through this fund. So does some really good work, and on top of that, there's grants and things that come in and out of it. So it's been really beneficial. I've been able to be on it since its inception in 2018, and we've gotten to do some really neat things with the fund. So questions if you have any.
Presentation. Is there any questions from the board?
I don't really have a question, it's more of a comment, but I was happy to hear that the board is doing great and coming up with all kinds of ideas. I know we were really excited to appoint new board members this year, so it sounds like everyone's doing a great job. So
Yeah, it's cool because you get to sit in on some of those interviews, so it's good to see that they're who we thought they were in their interviews, so yeah. Thank you. And then I will hand it over to Chris from this computer, who is presenting for the Cultural Commission.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Christopher Tremblay, and I am the current chair of the Canton Commission for Culture, Arts, and Heritage, and this is our annual report to the board. So if you're not familiar with the commission, our vision is leading an engaged, fulfilled, and unified community. And our mission is to enrich the community by celebrating its diversity, promoting its creative spirit, and honoring its history. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about how we've done that. This is the composition of the commissioners who are currently serving. So we have a chair and vice chair, an immediate past chair, and then we've also got representatives from several organizations throughout Canton. In addition, we have general commissioners who serve. We're also, we have members from the Canton Township community, as you see listed there, and our commissioners serve 3-year terms. We have 13 current commissioners. We can have a maximum of 17. So we still have room for a few more for any future volunteers. 3 new members joined this year, and 4 new members will either begin or renew in 2026. In terms of how we're out in the community and events that we support as ambassadors of this work, we supported 12 different community events that you see listed on the screen. These happen throughout the year, and it's a way, obviously, for our community to connect with each other and celebrate specific events and things that are important for us. One of the other exciting events this past summer was our second poetry project. It's a mural in Heritage Park. And so in August, we had a ribbon cutting ceremony, and we've taken poetry and found an artist to spread joy in our community, because we need to be reminded of happiness and joy in the midst of some of the crazy things that are going on in our world. So encourage you to take a walk through Heritage Park, and you can see both murals there. While this is not a part of the Canton Cultural Commission, I did just want to let you know that one of the great opportunities we have in our community is that the Partnership for the Arts and Humanities, starting this year, awarded almost $50,000 in arts and cultural grants. And so this is to infuse new programming and to allow individuals and organizations who are enriching our community some funding to be able to do what they've done. So we averaged about $4,500 per grant to 11 different organizations and individuals. And for 2026, our application deadline is this Thursday, and we will have another $50,000 that we will be awarding for activities that must take place in Canton between January 1st and December 31st of 2026. We've also have strong partnerships because of our membership with the Plymouth Canton Community Schools, with some art installations and art exhibits at the Village Arts Factory. And probably the biggest accomplishment because of grants that we received was the Ford Road Student Art Banner. So if you drive along Ford Road, you should see them on the light posts. So it's a way to show the work that's being done in our classrooms and bring it out to our community. We also recently launched Canton T-shirts as part of a partnership fundraiser. So if you should recognize these roads that form our border. And so this is a shirt that helps support the arts with the funding coming back to the Village Arts Factory, as wanted to share that with you. And then finally, 3 years from now, the commission will celebrate its 25th anniversary. So we're already starting to think about what we can do to, again, raise awareness about the arts and culture that already exist and bring additional programming to our community. So, any questions?
For your presentation. Does the board have any questions or comments?
I'll just say good job. I really appreciate the work that both you and the entire commission do. I love seeing the commissioners at the events that we're putting on. It's great. We have amazing staff, and all of our events are supported by our amazing staff. But I love seeing like the volunteer community members at the events as well, supporting them too. So I'm just really grateful for the work that you all do, and I think you've got some energy and some fire, and it's great to see.
Thank you.
I want one of those T-shirts. I'm trying to find the link.
I can send it to you, Michael.
Yeah, I'll just say I agree with Michael.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Now we will go on to board and commission reports. Are there any?
I'll just make a quick one for the Election Commission. We did our public logic and accuracy testing for the election that will be occurring 1 week from today for voters who are in the Van Buren School District and the Bell and the Wayne Westland School Districts. So they will have the opportunity to cast their ballots on I think 2 different bond questions. And we are ready to go. We've got all of the precincts staffed and appointed, and the equipment is ready to go as well. The election programming has been tested. Thank you, Kate.
You want to remind everyone which precincts? Did you already do that? Did I blink out?
Oh no, yeah. So if you live in precincts 1 through 3, you vote in the Van Buren Public Schools, and then if you are in precincts 4, 5, and 6 in Canton, you are in the Wayne Westland School District. Anybody else does not vote in the election. So it's really only about 20% of Canton registered voters have an election next week. Everybody else has got to wait till next year.
We will go on to public comments on agenda items only. Public comment on agenda items only. Are there any public comments on agenda item only? So we will move on to the approval of the minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from October 7th, 2025 and October 14th, 2020?
So moved.
Support.
Chris moved and Trustee Borninski supported. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And then the treasurer's report. Can I have a motion to pay the bills?
Madam Chair, I move that we pay the bills.
Support.
Motion from Trustee Borninski, second by Trustee Foster. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Now we'll go on to the consent calendar.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the consent calendar as presented. Item C1, consider approving the purchase of firefighter physical medical examinations. Item C2, consider request to decrease the blanket purchase order issued to Municipal Emergency Services for turnout gear. C3, authorize a purchase order increase to Audia Concrete Construction Incorporated for the 2025 Local Road Improvement Concrete Program. C4, consider approving 5-year lease agreement renewal with Utility Associates Incorporated for body-worn cameras and an associated amendment to the 2025 police budget. And finally, item C5, consider approval for DocuSign annual renewal.
Support?
Support.
Supported by Trustee Foster. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Move on to the general calendar. Site plan for Independent Living Alliance.
Madam Chair, I move to approve a resolution 2025-35 for the approval of site plan for Independent Living Alliance in the subject planning applications.
Support.
Support.
Applicant proposes to construct an intentional residential community for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities at 51333 Cherry Hill Road, which is located at the southeast corner of Cherry Hill Road and Napier Road. The proposed intentional community use consists of 40 units within one building on 4.23 acres. The residential units will consist of 30 one-bedroom units and 10 two-bedroom units, which will each have a kitchen. The building will also include multi-purpose rooms, a dining room, a fitness room, a meeting room, and administrative support area. Outdoor amenities are located on the south side of the building and incur bocce courts, a walking path, and outdoor eating areas. The Cherry Hill Village Overlay District requires all projects to be treated as Planned Development Districts, PDD. Each PDD is required to demonstrate definite benefits in the community. The proposed definite benefits of the site include providing a unique housing option for the area and preserving more open space than is required by the PDD. The Township Board approved the PDD application on May 14th, 2025. At its meeting on October 6th, 2025, the Planning Commission recommended approval of the site plan application.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't have anything else to add to the statement. However, Community Planner Patrick Sloan is also here to answer any questions. Thank you.
Have anything to add?
Nothing else to add outside of what's in our staff report, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Have any questions?
I have a question, but I don't think you're going to know the answer, Patrick. So is anyone from the Independent Living Alliance here? Okay.
Okay.
Got to project that voice.
Hello, my name's Dave Ebner, and I'm a board member of the Independent Living Alliance.
Thank you for being here tonight. I think this is a wonderful thing. It really fills a gap that we have in our community. But I'm wondering, I'm seeing like maybe a little bit of conflicting information about who exactly this is for. And I just wanted to make sure that it's open to anyone with an intellectual or developmental disability.
Yes, it is completely. Now, if we have more than, I think we have 40 units, so it would be a total of 50 probably, plus or minus individuals. There will be an application process and things of that nature. But yeah, it is open to anyone with an intellectual.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions? Okay, thank you. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. Go on to G2. G2, consider plan development district amendment and site plan amendment for Woodbridge Estates.
Madam Chair, I move to approve Resolution 2025-36 for the Planned Development District Amendment Number 1 and the Site Plan Amendment for Woodbridge Estates and the subject planning applications.
Can I have a support?
Support.
Motion made by Clerk Segrist, supported by Trustee Foster. In 2002, the Woodbridge East Plan Development District, PDD, and site plan was approved by Canton Township, which consists of 476 dwelling units on 68.6 acres for a density of 6.94 units per acre. Woodbridge Estates is located on the south side of Geddes Road between Denton Road and Beck Road. Most of the dwelling units have been constructed and the road, water main, sewer main, and stormwater systems have been installed for the entire development. In the applicant's proposal, minor changes to the last phase of the development for the remaining 168 units that require amendments to the PDD and the original site plan. No changes to the number of approved units are proposed, but the proposed changes to the building location will result in modifications from zoning ordinance requirements for setbacks and separation distance. The remaining 168 units are comprised of 14 buildings with 12 units in each building. There are some building design changes proposed on the site plan application. At its meeting on October 6, 2025, the Planning Commission recommended approval of the PDD amendment and site plan amendment. Dr. Norwood, do you have anything you want to add?
Thank you, Madam Treasurer. I do not have anything to add. However, Community Planner Patrick Stone's also here to answer any questions.
Patrick, do you have anything to add?
Happy to answer any questions. There's two major points for this development proposal that I wanted to cover. The first is that the changes to the locations of some of the buildings are a result of moving the buildings farther from the interior road. And the reason for that is to allow more area for cars to park in the driveways without overhanging the sidewalk. So it was a little bit of a design issue in the initial phase many years ago, over 20 years ago, where there's a really short distance between the front of the garages and the sidewalk. So this last phase, there's an opportunity to lengthen those driveways, and by doing so, it moves the buildings a little bit in those setback areas. So these setback modifications are worthwhile because it keeps cars off the sidewalk. The second item is that at the October 14th meeting a couple weeks ago, there was a PDD amendment for a development just to the east called Fillmore Place. And at that time, we noted that in the southwest corner of Fillmore Place, there was proposed to be a cross-connecting drive to the adjacent development to the west. Woodbridge Estates is that development. And in the southeast corner of Woodbridge Estates, there's also proposed to be a corresponding cross-connecting drive there. So the terms of that have not yet been worked out, but at the very least, we anticipate that being emergency vehicle only. So there may be an access gate and a Knox box. We'll work with the fire department on the details of that, but having that cross-connection drive is important for both developments. So with that, I'll be happy to take any other questions.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions? Thank you, Patrick. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Oh, thank you. 3, consider approval of a resolution for the Wayne County Department of Public Service, 2025 Water Main Capital Improvement Project.
Madam Chair, I move to approve resolution number 2025-37 for the 2025 water main capital improvement projects and authorize the township clerk, myself, to sign and execute it.
Support.
Motion made by Clerk Segrist, supported by Trustee Foster. In 2025, Water Main Capital Improvement Project is scheduled to be completed by the end of the year. The design process includes applying for a construction permit from Wayne County for work in their right-of-way. When applying for a construction permit to install or replace utilities, the county requires that old utilities be removed from the right-of-way. In the case of the water main within the Clark Drain, Engineering Services is electing to leave the existing water main in place because of environmental impacts. Engineering Services is requesting the board to sign and execute resolution number 2025-37 as required by Wayne County. The 2025 Water Main Capital Improvement Project requires the abandonment of the existing water main within the Clark Drain right-of-way. To obtain the right-of-way permit from Wayne County, the county is requiring the township to pass a resolution to take responsibility of the abandoned water main in the event that the county requires it be moved sometime in the near future. Director Norwood, do you have anything to add?
Thank you, Madam Treasurer. I don't really have anything to add other than we've done this in the past. Just in case something we have to do in the future, we'll deal with it, but we also don't want to impact the drain at this point. Thank you.
Does the board have any questions? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. 4, consider approving a contract and a purchase order to Plant Moran Real Point LLC to provide consulting services for the Michigan Ave Innovation Network, Maine corridor, and a budget amendment.
Madam Chair, I move to approve and authorize the township supervisor to sign the agreement with Plant Moran Real Point LLC and for a purchase order to be entered to approve the required budget amendment.
Support.
B.
A motion by Clerk Segrist, supported by Trustee Borninski. To advance the development and creation of the multi-jurisdiction Michigan Avenue Innovation Network, known as the Maine, the township is engaging Plant Moran Real Point, PMR, to lead this effort. Building on the foundation set forth by Fourth Economy in their SEMCOG-supported assessment in May of 2024. A deeper analysis and path to implementation are crucial to the success of the Maine. By conducting strategic benchmarking, a geographic inventory, qualifying and potential economic impact, and identifying potential partners, resources, PMR is expected to provide an implementation roadmap for Maine. This roadmap will provide all partnering municipalities with tangible opportunities to improve their economic development efforts and overall tax base. To accomplish this, Municipal Services and Economic Development recommend approval of the proposal presented by PMR in the amount not to exceed $148,500, which includes phases 1 through 5. And Director Norwood, do you have anything you want to add to
Sure.
this?
Thank you, Madam Treasurer. A couple of things I want to point out. First of all, this funding is going to be provided by a grant that the township was able to obtain through, certainly Deputy Supervisor involved, Howard was involved in that, also with Finance Director Trumbull to help us make this happen. So we're pretty pleased about that. But most importantly, this is the next step in the main. I know you had a presentation, a study session a couple weeks ago. So this is the next step to get this done. Certainly Economic Development Manager, Gavin Beckford's here. Also, some members of the team from Real Point, from Plant Moran Real Point are also here if they want to answer any questions you might have.
Or with a grant, that's great. Any questions from the board?
I don't have a question. I'll just say I thought that the study session was encouraging. I think that the approach and the focus is going to be extremely helpful in moving the priority of the Michigan Avenue Innovation Network forward. And I am looking forward, if it's approved tonight, to seeing Plant Moran, Real Point guide us in that process.
Yeah, just a comment. I'm excited for this, and it's just, if it gets approved tonight, it's one more step to making the main a reality, which I think is going to be awesome for Canton and Southeast Michigan.
Great study session, and we are looking forward to this. So all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And we'll move on to G5. Consider a request to approve letter of agreement, LOA, between Canton Township and the Canton Command Officers Association, Police Officers Labor Council, CCOA.
Madam Chair, I move to approve the letter of agreement, or LOA for short, between Canton Township and the Canton Command Officers Association of Michigan, or CCOA for short, to appoint Deputy Chief of Police Joseph Biley to Interim Chief of Police until the township fills the vacancy permanently.
Support.
Motion made by Clerk Segrist, supported by Trustee Foster. The township and the CCOA have discussed the impact of the current vacancy for the position of Chief of Police, and the supervisor wishes to appoint Deputy Chief Joseph Biley to the role of interim police chief. Deputy Chief Biley brings many years of training and the experience to the position, and has experience in acting as police chief when the previous chief was absent. Deputy Chief Biley has indicated that he will accept the appointment and serve as interim police chief until such time as a permanent police chief is chosen. The township and the CCOA have come to an agreement to govern the assignment of Deputy Chief Biley as interim police chief, which shall be in place until such time as the township fills the vacancy permanently. And unfortunately, we're having a hard time with Zoom. I know Joseph Biley was on the Zoom, but unfortunately, we couldn't connect. So Deputy Hopper, do you want to say anything, or?
Well, I'm certainly happy to answer any questions.
Okay.
As you read in the executive summary, Deputy Chief Biley does have experience acting as police chief in the previous police chief, Chad Baugh's absence. He's currently the longest standing deputy police chief in Canton Township. Bring a great deal of experience to this position. And this agreement is really just needed to secure kind of his position as a command officer while he steps into the role of interim police chief, once the supervisor appoints him to that position.
I don't know if Deputy Johnson wants to, I know you were talking to Chief Biley earlier. I don't know if you want to add anything.
I think that it's a very good decision by the board to make him the interim police chief. I think he will do a great job and has the experience necessary to keep the township and the police department in the ways that we've been operating up to this point.
Yes.
And it may be relevant to let the community know that Deputy Chief Biley is not currently here because he is at the FBI Academy. So it is for training purposes.
That's right. He's at the FBI Academy in, I believe it's Alexandria, Virginia, and will be there until early December. So he had this opportunity to get this training. This is a kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, really, for any police officer. And so he decided to go. The township supported him in that, and we're glad that he's there and look forward to seeing what he brings back from the FBI training.
Yeah, I talked to, I'll call him because we haven't voted yet, Deputy Chief Biley, earlier today about something else, but I appreciated despite him being in Virginia, he's very available for our questions. And I know he's probably disappointed that we are having Zoom issues tonight. I also wanted to say that it's not just the supervisor who wishes to appoint him as the interim director.
Thank you, Kate. And he is available. I know all of us have reached out to him, and we appreciate him being available at all times. So, Summer?
No, I mean, I agree with everything that's been said. I think he's done a great job as deputy chief, supporting when we had Chief Baugh, and it's great to have him step into this position. I couldn't be more supportive. He actually tracked me down on Saturday morning one day so he could have a conversation with me before he left to go to, he was actually on his way to Virginia, and, you know, asked me, like, you know, what I thought about the police department, how he could best serve this community, get information to the board. And so I really appreciated that, and I'm glad to have him in this position.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Listening, I don't know.
I assume you'll let him know it went through. Or maybe wait a little bit, make him sweat.
G6, consider waiving the bidding process and approve a proposal from EMCO Incorporation for the external promotional process for the position of Leisure Services and Community Development Deputy Director.
Madam Chair, I move to approve waiving the bidding process and accept the proposal from EMCO Incorporated for an external process for the position of Leisure Services and Community Development Deputy Director for a total not to exceed $16,300, of which $5,200 will be incurred in 2025, with the remainder in 2026.
Support.
Motion by Clerk Sechrist, supported by Trustee Borninski. A request is being made to waive the bidding process and accept the proposal from EMCO to run an external process for the position of Leisure Services and Community Development Deputy Director. This process would establish a one-year eligibility list as outlined in the merit policy. The cost for the full assessment center for up to 12 candidates is not expected to exceed $16,300. The cost of the assessment center will be split between 2025 and 2026, so that the assessment center cost will fit within the existing budget. EMCO is an established leader in hiring the promotional process. They specialize in employment relationships and emphasize on testing and evaluation in the public sector. EMCO will create and facilitate the impartial process that will evaluate the knowledge, skills, and ability of the candidates that are necessary to perform this successfully and execute the position of Leisure Services and Community Development Director. Director Howell, do you have anything you want to add?
The township is familiar with IMCO. We recently used them in the ITI director position and also the municipal services director position. We have a good relationship with them, and they've always done a great job for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any questions from the board? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the ayes have it. See, so do we have any additional comments from the public? Yes, please come to the podium. Thank you.
George Miller. First of all, I'd like to address on the parking issue at Lots and Palmer. Seems to be an ongoing concern there. People are going to get hurt. There must be 100 to 200 cars parked there at an event, whatever it may be. I'd like to know if the police department can address that issue and maybe make it safer. And the flooding that the Army Corps of Engineers has had, is it out, the report? I'd like to know if it's out. It should be out about this time, I understand. And in depth here, I put a FOIA in. I talked to your planning department. I like a in-depth what a snow fence is. Not what I think it is. The material, the thickness, the holes, how tall, color, wood, material, plastic, everything. So we can, and I like to see the ordinance on it. Evidently, you don't have ordinance. You leave it up to the individual, then you put it up and you're not satisfied. Then you go try something else and on and on and on with it. Okay, and Mun dump, since we own that dump, the township, is there any plan to get it cleaned up? It's been on the hazardous waste permit or list for the last 30 years. We own it. Evidently, the township knew there was stuff in it when they bought it. There was tests made prior. People on the board had it done. And the roundabout at Sheldon and Palmer, I seen a print over in Washtenaw County, a roundabout, and they had an accident over there at Geddes and 23. And some of the trucks over there carry 600 gallons of fuel and 60 quarts of oil. If you don't believe me, ask A&D Trucking, okay? And you're only 25 foot from that roundabout, if it spills more or less, to that ditch, and it goes right down there to the Rouge River. So if it spills, you need a tractor trailer full of $100 bills to clean it up.
Are there any other public comments? Any other public comments?
Michael Schultz. I don't know why everybody looks at me. Two things. Number one, a few months ago, you had all the former employees here that were not happy about their separation agreement. I don't know if anything was ever resolved on that, but it'd make me feel better to know that you guys did your due diligence and kind of helped these people out. Second, a few weeks ago, you talked about paying for Joe's school. I think that's a great idea. The only thing is, I hope you guys took into consideration to sign an extension on his contract. I've never talked with the man, don't know him, but he appears to be pretty level-headed, and that's what this township needs. Thank you.
Any other public comments? Any other public comments? Any other public comments? Okay. Right, we will move on to administrative comments. Is there, Patrick?
Just want to mention that unfortunately, we do have to close the Summit Pool on Thursday and Friday, so we've tried to do our best to let all of our members and guests know. We have to replace an electrical panel there, so we do have to close the pool down for a couple days, but it's for the best, for long-term, so we look forward to getting that back up and running as soon as we can. So just letting all of our members know that. And then next Saturday, November 8th, at the Summit, we have our large artisan market, so we encourage everyone to come. It'll be a very busy Saturday, but we have lots of arts and craft vendors, and there will be a lot to see and check out there on Saturday, November 8th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And of course, I'll let Michael talk about what's going to happen there next Tuesday. But lots going on at the Summit as usual.
Thank you. Rochelle?
No additional comments, thank you.
The other thing I have to add is with Halloween coming up, we will have extra patrols out there. We will have bike officers out in the community for Devil's Night and for Halloween, just as extra patrol and extra eyes in the subdivisions. And then we've also tried to push out as much as we can on our Facebook page, just with Halloween safety and different things like that, so.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
I usually don't comment on international items, but in this organization, we have ties to Jamaica. And as you know, Gavin Bedford's from there. Director Igbegbu lived there and has family there. I lived there for a while. And also we have folks in engineering who have ties to Jamaica. And so we're concerned about what's going on there. And Gavin may have to take care of some family there coming in the future.
Prayers are with them.
I just want to say thank you to the gentleman for the comment. I'm happy to talk anytime. Get to know you better. I just appreciate what you said. Thank you.
Just want to wish everyone a happy Halloween and stay safe. Always go trick-or-treating in a group. Make sure you have some light because it's getting dark early now. I'm hoping that Trustee Foster is going to talk about SNAP benefits. Okay, good.
Foster.
First, I'd like to say happy belated birthday, Joe.
Oh, we should say happy birthday to Victor. I don't know where he went, but today's Victor's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Victor. Happy almost Halloween. Stay warm. It's cold outside. The time changes this weekend, so we fall back. November 1st, people are slated to lose SNAP benefits. The treasurer has information in her office where folks can access food banks. You can also call 211, which is operated, I think, by the United Way, which gives folks information on where they can also access food. And, you know, let's take care of our neighbors during this time.
Yes. Thank you, Summer.
Last week, a lot of Canton residents celebrated Diwali, and there were fireworks permitted last Monday night, I believe, at the BAPS Mandir, and so a lot of folks were enjoying that. And then we had some Anakut celebrations. I was there Tuesday, brought my kids to the one at the Mandir. They had a great time there, and then I went to Anakut at the Hindu temple on Sunday, and that was pretty cool as well. So happy Diwali and Anakut New Year to everybody who celebrates in Canton Township. And then on top of that, we're, as I said earlier, a week away from voting for folks in precincts 1 through 6 in Canton Township. That is at the Summit on the park or Connection Church. Both facilities, believe it or not, are run by Lefevers. So I get to work with John Lefever and Dennis Lefever, John's dad, at Connection Church, who is a delight. Both of them are to work with. So just got a cool little thing.
A lot of happy things happening. And just Just to let the residents know, we've switched over to BSNA from Tyler. Invoice Cloud, the online payment was down. It is back up. You will have to go onto our website to use a new link to go in to pay your water bills. For property taxes, it's the same link. But for those folks who used to pay their water bill, they need to use a new link, and that attaches both to their property tax and to their water bill. So that'll be much more convenient for them. And IT has been great. I know all the departments are struggling a little bit, but we're all getting there. So give us a little grace. We're a little learning the new system, so we appreciate your patience with us. And with that, happy Halloween and stay safe.
Watch out for all those little ghosts and goblins out there. That's what you always say, and you didn't
I
say
know.
it this time.
I will say. All right, watch out for the little ghosts and goblins. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Support. I'll support that, I think.
Everybody, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.